Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to explore Python docstrings and documentation. I will explain how to write clear and helpful documentation using docstrings and tools like Sphinx. This is very important for writing clean code and helping other developers understand your work. So, what exactly are docstrings? Docstrings are string literals that appear right after the definition of a function, method, class, or module. Think of them as documentation that's built directly into your code. They are accessible via the _doc_ attribute. You can also view them using the help function. It's important to follow specific formatting conventions when writing docstrings to keep them consistent and readable. Here's an example of a docstring in action. We define a function called calculateArea, which takes the radius as input. The docstring is enclosed in triple quotes and explains what the function does. It describes the parameters, which is the radius, and what the function returns, which is the area of the circle. To access the docstring, we can use calculateArea, _doc_, or the help function. There are several popular formats for writing docstrings, and following a standard format makes your documentation more consistent and easier to read. Here, I'll show you two common styles: Google style and NumPy or SciPy style. In Google style, you use sections like args and returns to describe parameters and return values. Notice how each parameter and return value is clearly labeled with its type and a brief description. In NumPy or SciPy style, the structure is similar, but it uses parameters and return sections with a slightly different layout. Both formats are widely used, so choose one and stick with it for consistency across your project. Sphinx is a powerful documentation generator that converts restructured text files into HTML, PDF, and other formats. It automatically extracts docstrings from your code and creates professional documentation with search functionality. Sphinx supports cross-references between documents, and it's used by Python itself in many major projects. It's also extensible with themes and extensions, allowing you to customize the look and feel of your documentation. On the right, you'll see an example of a Sphinx-compatible docstring. It uses restructured text syntax to define parameters, return types, and even include notes and examples. This allows Sphinx to generate nicely formatted documentation from your docstrings. Let's talk about some best practices for documentation. First, when writing effective docstrings, be concise but complete. Explain the purpose and behavior of your code. Always document parameters, return values, and any exceptions that might be raised. Include examples showing typical usage of your functions and classes. Follow a consistent style, whether it's Google style, NumPy style, or another standard. And most importantly, update your documentation whenever your code changes. For documentation workflow, write docstrings as you code, not after. Use documentation linters to enforce standards and catch errors. Generate your documentation automatically as part of your continuous integration and continuous delivery pipeline. Review documentation as part of your code review process. And make sure your documentation is easily accessible to your users. Here are some tools that can help with documentation, like Sphinx, PyDoc, Read the Docs, and Doctest. Doctest is a module that searches for code examples in docstrings and runs them as tests. This is a fantastic way to ensure that the examples in your documentation actually work and stay up to date with your code. It keeps your documentation and code in sync, and it serves as both documentation and test cases. Doctest is simple to write and maintain, and it runs with standard test frameworks like PyTest. In the code example, you can see how we include examples of how to use the addNumbers function directly in the docstring. Doctest will run these examples and verify that the output matches what's expected. You can run doctest from the command line or directly in your code. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.